Okay, I think we are live. Let me just check here. Yep, I think we are. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's my pleasure to be here, and obviously I hope you learned some new things today, because what I'm bringing you today is going to be massive. It's going to help you out massively in terms of mastering prop firms. So I'm just going to wait just a couple of minutes until everybody joins in, and then we can start off directly. As well, for everyone, right down in the description there's a 33% discount coupon. Okay, that will be added on to the discount that we have right now in our webpage. So obviously if you were thinking and getting Forex Tester online, it's the moment right now, but you've got a massive discount. And during some time of the stream I'm going to drop a code that is going to give you 100% discount for a Forex Tester Online annual plan. Okay, you can have the starter or the pro. It will work for both, and I'll let you know when I'm going to drop it. Okay. All right then. So the big question that everybody has is how they can actually make money with prop challenges, because at the end of the day, prop challenges are not there for you to make money. At the end of the day, their business is basically you paying the fees to take the challenge, and that's how they actually live, and they pay the traders that actually make it with the money that the other traders have paid for the fee. So at the end of the day, it's just a circle of money, and obviously the prop firm keeps some, because at the end of the day, most of the traders fail the challenges. Okay, that's a reality. Most of them treat them like if they are real trading accounts, and that is the biggest mistake you can do when you're trading actually prop firms. So first thing is, let me just change this here so you can see. Okay. So the thing is, how to beat the prop challenges with data. Okay, we don't want to rely on any hope on this is going to be the good one or anything like that. We want to do it with data. We want to have some stats behind that said that I'm going to pass X amount of challenges, and it's going to give me more or less an estimate of X amount of money. Okay, this is how we want to work with the prop challenges, and not treat them like live trading accounts, because at the end of the day, they are not live trading accounts. It's not your money. They can disappear at any point, and they have certain rules, and they can invent rules to block you. So in any case, what we want to do is be this little guy that comes, takes a little bit, goes away, comes a bit later, takes another bit, and do it this and this and this. Because this is a way how you won't get blocked from the prop challenges. They won't deny any payouts, because you're not disturbing them too much. You're just there picking a little bit and leaving. Okay, because if maybe we've got 100,000 account, and let's say we've got a good month and we make a 20 or 30%, and we request a 20 to 30,000 payout, we're probably going to get it denied. Meanwhile, if we get a 10,000 account let's say, and we request a 800 payout, 1000 payout, that is more normal, and they probably won't block us after the first payout. Okay, so this is the main thing, and we've got to be focused on that as well. If we try and request too big payouts, like just too big, they will get denied for some reason that probably doesn't even exist. So as like I said, what I'm going to show you today is how to get this data so you've got the confidence to actually pass the prop challenges the correct way. So why do the traders fail? Like I said before, they trade emotionally, they don't test enough, they have no stats, they ignore the hidden rules that a lot of prop firms have got, and obviously they just buy challenges blindly because they've got a profitable strategy. And the thing is that to pass the prop firms, you don't need a profitable strategy. You could flip a coin and pass prop challenges. I mean, it's as simple as that, because with a 50% win rate, you can pass a prop challenge and you can actually get paid from it. Okay, and this is the thing. So the thing is, we must take in consideration that all these people pay my payout, and that's how it works. So if we come down, we see prop challenges are probability based investments and they are not trading accounts. Same thing as I said before. If you treat challenges like a live account, you will probably lose, or you can make money. But if you trade it like a normal account, let's say I get a $10,000 account and I'm going to achieve a 10%, and I trade normally risking a 1%. 1 month it could go perfect and I can get that 10% in 1 month or in a month and a half. But what happens when I go in a drawdown period or I go in a range or anything like that? What happens is I can spend 2, 3, 4 months just passing one single challenge. Okay, and then goes to challenge 2, because normally if we go on CFD on Forex, we have 2 challenges. So we need to make a 10% and then we need to make a 5%. At the end of the day, that is just a huge amount of time that we're not making any money. That's why we want to pass the challenge as fast as possible, sacrificing some of the challenges if needed, so we can actually reach to the live account so we can actually get the payout from there. So thing is, the hidden rules of the challenges, or like I say, just like FTMO. Okay, FTMO is one of the cleanest prop firms out there because they don't have lots of rules. Okay, because the thing is, like I said before, you could flip a coin. Basically, you flip this coin, and if you flip it 1,000 times or 100,000 times, 50% of the time you're going to get one, or 50% of the time you're going to get the other. Okay, and this is a reality. But if we add rules, then it's not a 50% anymore. It could be, sometimes it could be in our favor, sometimes it can't be in our favor, and maybe we don't have a 50%, we have a 40%. But don't worry, because we're going to go through all that now, so we can actually understand and be able to get this data, even if depending on the rules that the prop firms have. So like I said, the visible rules on FTNO is like the profit target, the drawdown, the time limit. Okay, so this is what we will see when we go into any prop firm. We'll get the profit target. It could be an 8%, could be a 10%, could be a 6%. The drawdown, that normally the average is from 3, 6, 8 or 10%. And then the time limit. Most prop challenges don't have any time limit anymore, but they still add it there like there's no time limit. Oh yeah, that's great for them, because at the end of the day, you're paying the challenge and you might be 3 months, 4 months trying to pass this challenge. So obviously not having any time limit, it doesn't affect them virtually. Obviously before they got even more money, but at the end of the day, what we're going to do, the time limit isn't any issue, because in question of 1 week we could have the challenge actually passed. Okay, so then there's the most important is the hidden rules, and these rules are what appear in the frequent asked questions. Okay, the FAQ. That's what we got to actually deeply look into, find these hidden rules that can deny these payouts or break the rules in terms of the challenge. So most in FTMO, like I said, there are virtually no rules, and the only one that I can find is like the minimum trading days on some challenges. On others we don't have any. The minimum withdrawal normally isn't so high. Okay, normally on FTMO, on other ones there is higher minimum. The consistency rule is only on the phase 1. The lot limits, normally in FTMO I haven't seen any lot limits, but we can find them in others. News restrictions in FTMO, we can't trade when we've got news. And the trail drawdown. Okay, the trail drawdown is basically there's two types of drawdown. There's the max daily drawdown, okay, so that's what happens every day. And some prop firms have a daily drawdown in terms of at the end of the day. So let's say I get up today, this morning, and I've got 5% of max daily drawdown. If I do a trade and get 1%, then I've got a 6% daily drawdown, okay? When it goes over to the next day, I can make a 5% in that day, but the next day it resets to another 5%, okay? Then we've got the max drawdown. That can be static, or it can be as well a trailing drawdown. So basically a static means that if I've got a 10,000 account and I've got a 10% drawdown, $9,000 is my max drawdown, so $1,000 of drawdown. If I've got a trailing drawdown, it can be intraday, the same in terms of, let's say I make a 5%, so it goes from 10,000 to 10,500, and then it drops below without me closing the trade, and it drops to 95, or in this case to 9,500. That means I've broken that account because it's dropped 10% from my max equity high. Meanwhile, if we've got end of the day drawdown, it's better, but the best one is a static, means the same as a daily. If I make a 5% in one day, the next day I can only go to 9,500 instead of the 9,000. So these are the main difference, and obviously every challenge is completely different, and there's no universal strategy. Like I said here, there's no universal strategy, and the only right system, there's no right system for a challenge. You've got to design the system for the challenge, because otherwise you can't just like I say, I've passed the challenge with FTO with one strategy, I'm going to use the same one at lucid trading. It won't work because the rules change, and we need to change our system based on these rules, and this is the main difference. So if we want to pass in FTMO, we need to make, in the phase 1, we need to make a 10%. Okay, I'll just show it off straight away so you can see the actual challenge. And here it is. We've got step 1 and step 2. Okay, on step 1, we need to make a 10% profit target with a max daily loss of a 3% and a max loss of a 10%. The trading period, obviously, like I said before, is unlimited, and the best rule day is 50%. So our best trade can't be bigger, or our best trade must not be higher than the 50% of our total profit. Okay, this is a rule that they tend to add to block withdrawals, and we must be cautious that if we risk today, or we win today $100 and tomorrow we win $700, then this will break this rule. Okay, so always it needs to be, the best profit day must be always be lower the 50% of the total profit that we're going to withdraw. So like I say, if we're going to withdraw $1,000, our best profit day can't be higher than 500. Okay, because otherwise we'll break this rule. It doesn't break your account, but they do deny the withdrawal until this rule is actually met. So like I say, to pass this challenge, how could we do it? Because obviously we can't just flip a coin here, because at the end of the day we can't get a 50% win rate. Because at the end of the day, if I get a 50% win rate and I can only risk a 3%, then it's going to be a losing system. So what I need is a strategy, in this case with a negative risk reward, as I was showing you here. So a negative risk reward of 3 to 1. So when I risk 3 to actually win 1, will give me an average, okay, this is based on the coin flip, of a 75% win rate. So what it means is I'm going to get an average streak of 2 to 3 wins before a loss, and this is perfect for this FTMO challenge, because as you know, the odds of winning every single trade is always going to be a 75%, but the odds of doing a streak of winning trades does dilute on the more winning trades I get. So obviously once I've made one trade, the second trade, the odd of me getting 2 winning trades in a streak is going to be lower, and this is the difference. And what we've got to be careful is, because we're always going to have a 75% win rate. Okay, that's never going to change. We can make 100 trade streak and it's never going to change, but the odds of making 100 winning trades in a row that is really, really low. This is where the probability table comes in, so we can check it out. So like I say, with a 75% win rate, I'm going to have a 42.19% of the probabilities to get 3 consecutive wins. So where would be my sweet spot to more or less stay consistent? It's going to be between 2 and 3 winning trades a day. So if I risk a 3%, I'm going to go for 1% of each trade. So like I say, if I get 2 trades, I'm going to win a 2% in that day. And if I go for 3, obviously I'm going to win a 3%. So how do we apply this to FTMO? Basically, if I go for a 10% and I'm risking a 3% each day, I need 4 winning days with 3 streaks, okay, with a 3 winning trades every day. The thing is that obviously this isn't always a reality, and sometimes it can take long, okay? This is why FTMO isn't the best one to actually use this farming method to pass prop firms, because at the end of the day, with this daily loss limit, it limits us obviously quite a lot. And here's where we can look to other prop firms, especially in the future, prop firms like Lucid Trading. Okay, Lucid Trading is a prop firm that doesn't have a daily a max daily risk. Okay, so basically what it's got is a max loss limit and a profit target. And as you can see, the max loss limit is 1,000 and the profit target is 1,250. And the good thing here is that obviously I can flip a coin here basically every day with every account and just risk these $1,000 in one trade. And then if I win it, I only need a risk reward of 4 to 1 to actually get the second trade and get the profit target. Well, where's the problem here? That the easier the evaluation is, the more harder it tends to get to actually get to the payout. And the thing is that here I can pass the evaluation really easy, but I need to get 5 profit days to actually request a payout. Okay, and obviously we have as well consistency rules in this prop firm. So at the end of the day, if the evaluation is easy, the payout is difficult, and if the evaluation is difficult, the payout is easy. So it depends on you on how you want to take this risk, because obviously all these trading prop firms is a risk. You can lose your money, and obviously this webinar or any video or any seminar or anything doesn't guarantee you're actually gonna make money with prop firms. Okay, the only thing that I'm offering here today is just pure data, so you can understand how it works, and it's just pure mathematics. But obviously, like I've always said, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not a financial advice. But let's continue, and as you can see, here we can do a coin flip, here we can't. But we can still make money on both. Why? Because if we come just a bit below, here it is. How many traders reach withdrawal? Okay, so starting the same 75% win rate. Okay, this would be for the FTMO. This would be for the FTMO. So I've got my 3 to 1 risk reward. The challenge target is a 10%, and the chance to pass the first challenge is a 40 to a 43%. This is a real percentage. If we do a Monte Carlo simulation, this is the probabilities that I've got, and it's the same as a risk reward of 1 to 1 with a coin flip. Okay, it's exactly the same, 50%, 75% with a risk reward of 3 to 1. The thing is, if I got a 43% to pass the challenge, and then I've got the live, this is talking about step 1. If we've got step 2, we've got to add another layer. But if we in step 1, if we've got a live target of a 10% as well, let's say I'm going to redraw the same amount than the actual profit target. We can redraw less, obviously, yes, but the less we redraw, we're going to get a high probability of withdrawal, but it might not be enough to cover the expensive, and this is something that we need to calculate as well. But this is a simple formula, and this pays the expensive. So what I do, I get a live 10%, perfect. I get $800 payout with an 80% split. And as I say, I've got the same probabilities, obviously, because I'm aiming for exactly the same and doing exactly the same. So I've got 40% to pass the first challenge and 40% to get the payout. Both combined, the percentage of me passing the challenge and getting a payout is between 16 to 18%. Okay, this let's say if I buy 100 challenges like I did here, I'm gonna get a payout from 16 to 18 challenges. Okay, this is the actual goal. Obviously, if your strategy, if you actually got an edge on your strategy and it fits the prop firm, this is going to be higher. But now I'm just talking about coin flips. So the challenge, like you see here, costs 79 euros, and 100 challenges would be an investment of 7,900 euros. We would lose 83 challenges and we would get 17 payouts. So the total payouts would be 13,600, giving us a total profit of 5,700 euros. Okay, this will be after 100 challenges, and as you can see, your strategy wouldn't. The only thing that your strategy needs to have is not be worse than a coin flip. Okay, this would be the thing. But how can we actually know that your strategy is going to fit this pop challenge simulation? Here is where Forex Tester Online is the actual solution. It's what I use every single time when I'm going to approach a new challenge. And the thing is, because I've got obviously the years of data to complete a new do new backtest, I can simulate the real challenge rules that I'll show you in a minute, because we've got prop simulator inside Forex Tester Online. We can test hundreds of challenges, measure the streaks and the drawdowns, calculate the probabilities, etc, etc. So the thing is that with Forex Tester Online, we can actually get this data. Meanwhile, if we wouldn't do it with Forex Tester Online, there wouldn't be anywhere to see. There wouldn't be any way to actually find this data, because at the end of the day, if we have to do it by doing pop challenges, that's going to be a mess, because we're going to spend a lot of money and the data would have to do it in an Excel and it would be a complete mess. Meanwhile, with this way, we can actually get the data before we start investing in pop challenges. So the thing is, we can actually simulate real challenges rules. Okay, and this is so simple. It's just coming to our dashboard in Forex Tester Online and coming to prop challenge. Okay, here I can just I can either go to instant funding, the rules are already in here, or we can go to custom challenge, and here I can just select any Forex pair that we want. I can go to the futures, to US 500, to NASDAQ, whatever. So let's say I'm going to go to euro against the dollar, and the balance I can set it 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, or I can just add any amount that I want to match the exact challenge. Just have to input my name, start the date, end the date. So like I say, obviously we're not going to do a challenge in 2003, we're going to come to 2026 January, so Monday, and then we'll just minimum trading days. Each prop firm are different, we can leave it at 3 just for this example, and then our profit and loss can be at 10%, the maximum daily loss can be a 5, and the maximum loss can be a 10. Then let's select our time zone, it'll be London for me, and that's how simple we can set our challenge. So set like that, and if I start the project, what I'm going to get is a normal chart. Hamis, insightful stuff, man, thanks a lot. Hey, it's no problem, mate. I really love you actually enjoying it, and I hope you actually get a nice info out of it. Okay, so like I say, at the end of the live as well, remember we're going to be giving a free Forex Tester Online code, so you can get Forex Tester Online completely free, so stay tuned for that. And as you see, you'll get a normal chart like if we'll be doing any of the backtests, but the main difference that we've got here is that we can find this up here that says tasks. Here we've got the trading days, we've got the profit target, the max daily loss, and the max loss. So if you break any rule in terms of max loss, or you go over the daily loss or whatever, what the program is going to do is going to shut you out. So let's just do an example here. Let's open an absurd amount of lots in okay, that's too much lots for a trading account. Let's open 3. So okay, okay, just add this here. Okay, I'll be risking a 10%, and there you go. Challenge is not complete because you've actually, or I've broken the actual daily loss. Okay, if we do it on if we wouldn't break the daily, and we just keep trading, and it goes, we have 1 bad day, 2 bad days, 3 bad days, 4 bad days, and at the end of the day, we'll lose the actual the total drawdown. Okay, so how do we actually approach this so we can actually get this data? What I do, it's everybody can do it in a different way. But what I do is I do one single backtest with a strategy to get its metrics. So this is backtest that I did for this challenge that is earn to trade. Okay, it's one that I'm working with right now, and this is the previous steps that I actually did before I actually went in. So okay, as you can see, it's a scalping strategy, and there's loads and loads and loads of trades, especially here and here because of a really volatile market. And if I go to analytics, I'll be able to see that this was a risk reward of 3 to 1, and it's got some really good metrics. Okay, at the end of the day, this is better than a coin flip. Obviously, if you've got a strategy that can match the prop firm, then that's fine. You only get better results. So at the end of the day, the goal is to not be worse than an actual coin flip. And if we come down here, you can see that the win rate is of 84%. Okay, I only need a 75%, so that is more than perfect. And as you can see, the average profit is 86 and the average loss is 303. So just a bit below than 3 to 1. So that is completely okay. And that's what I need to aim for. Obviously, I need to do a nice amount of trades to validate these stats, because at the end of the day, you can't just do 100 trades, because it might just be that in them 100 trades it went well. So you need to do at least a fair amount of trades, like 500, 1,000 trades, more or less. I more or less stayed around here because I saw the consistency of the strategy. But I would say minimum 1,000 trades is the first time you're doing, so you can actually get a nice data behind. And once you've done that, then you're going to go back to your dashboard, and then you're going to start a new prop firm. In this case, a new challenge. So what you're going to, as you can see here, earn to trade 1, earn to trade 2, earn to trade 3, earn to trade 4. And as you can see, I passed one here, failed one here, passed one here, passed one here, failed one there, and all like this. And I think I remember I did a complete year from January of 2025 to 2026, and this was a total of 21. This gave me more or less a funding rate, okay, actually getting to pass the challenge, over 66%. And this is really high, okay, because obviously it's a really good strategy. With a coin flip, we'll be looking at the same that we saw just here above, okay. And with a coin flip, we would be looking at, where is it, down here. With a coin flip, we'll be looking at a 40 to a 43%. This would be the minimum to actually make some money, okay, because at the end of the day, making any less than this amount here, because at the end of the day we are investing 7,900 euros, making less than this cannot be too much worth the risk. But at the end of the day, here we're making a nice ROI, okay, and it all depends on the strategy that we use and how much time we want to invest, okay. So at the end of the day, if I need to wait 2-3 years to complete 100 challenges, then I don't want this amount of profit, because yeah, it's an add-on. But if I want to make a nice side gain, then obviously I would need a different method. But if you can do 100 challenges in 2 months, 3 months, then this amount of profit is okay. So depending on the strategy that you use, if it's got a good win rate, if you can actually make money on the real markets, then prop firms, the only thing you need to do is risk more. So pass the challenge fast, and that way you get quicker, not easier, you get quicker to the actual live account, and then you can actually get a payout. And one thing that I want to show you as well is in the equity curve simulator, okay. This is what it does. Well, basically, if I enter here a 75% win rate, okay, and a risk reward would be negative, so 0.34, and the risk per trade would be, just leave that at 1%. The number of trades will be 1,000 and the initial capital will be 1,000. If I calculate this, as you can see, this is a 1,000 line here, so this is our baseline. If we continue down here, you can see that there's a lot of lines above and a lot of lines below. At the end of the day, half the challenges are going to go right, and we're looking at a 50% of chances of passing the first challenge. But if we add in the rules, that's where things change. But this is the base is perfect because, like I say, if I take the strategy that I'm using, it's an 84% win rate, and I calculate it, then obviously it's always going to get really good results. And this could be, even this bad result is a good result. But like I say, just having a 75, even with a 70, I think we can still get some that go above before they drop. Obviously, we can't expect a 70% win rate with this reward to be good in the long game, but in the short game, as you can see, sometimes we get some winning ones. As you see here, this one came up and came up and came up again, and it even went up to here. And this is a really bad strategy. Okay, so at the end of the day, what we need to look at is that we can still get lucky if we've got even less than the 50%, even less than flipping a coin. Because at the end of the day, flipping a coin, it sounds absurd, but at the end of the day, it works better than a lot of strategies that people use in the prop firms. As well, I'd like to say that if anybody has got any questions, because I understand this is quite extensive, it's quite dense, all this information. So if you've got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be really happy to reply. And one thing that I wanted to show you is the step-by-step. So, designing the system step by step is really simple once we actually understand how and we got the right tools to actually design it. So the first thing, like I said, we need to analyze the challenge rules and the price, okay? Because this is super important, because there's a big difference between the challenge costing 100 to costing 200, because at the end of the day, that will take a lot away of my ROI. So thing is that if we look at this example here, if this challenge would cost 160, then this would be from 8,000 would be 16,000, and the total payouts wouldn't be enough to actually me to get profit, and I'd be in a loss. So here's super important to take in consideration the price of the challenge and the payout. Okay, so once we get them both together is when we can actually say, okay, this prop firm is worth it. So once we've actually picking 1, 2, 3 prop firms, we don't need more, we only need to pick 1, 2 or 3 that are really good, and we can find a strategy that matches them, then we can start designing the actual strategy. So and another thing is that the more that we can risk in one day, the better, because the quicker we can pass the challenge. Okay, but here comes in the thing. Normally when we can risk a lot in the challenge, we can't risk as much in the live accounts. We must take consideration this, because at the end of the day, it's always a balance. If the challenge is easy, payout is hard. That's always the same in most of the challenges, unless they are new prop challenges and they're trying to bring more clients in. But the normal rule is that. So next thing is to design the strategy structure based on the rules. So we're going to design a strategy from scratch, or if we've got several, I mean, I've got different strategies for different prop firms. But if you don't, we would have to create a new one based on the rules of that prop firm. Okay, this is super important, because otherwise we are not going to be able to rely on the data. Okay, so like I say, what I need for the FTMO, the same as earn to trade, is basically that I'll need a risk reward of 3 to 1. Okay, because what happens if I go with a coin flip of 50% here? I can risk a 3%. But my odds are going to be less in terms of getting streaks, okay? Because I'm starting lower in the odds. So at the end of the day, it's going to be more complicated for me to get streaks, and actually with these streaks actually pass the challenge. Okay, so that's the thing that we need to calculate. If I can risk a 10%, then I'm going to do a coin flip, because it's much faster, and getting 2 trades in a row is easy. And in this case, if I risk a 10%, I only need 1. So 50% chance. That's simple. Most Forex Forex prop firms have a 5% daily loss limit, so I can only risk a 5%. That's still okay, but when it goes to a 3%, then I can't aim for a 50% win rate. I need higher win rate, and the only way to get a higher win rate if I don't improve my strategy is lowering my risk reward. So that's why in this case for FTMO it's easier to pass a challenge with a 3-to-1 than a 1-to-1. So with this win rate, then I can start back testing, because the only thing that I need to know is that a basic strategy with negative risk reward of 3-to-1 will give me an average of a 75% win rate. That's normal. So if I can only not be worse than a coin flip, then it's simple to actually, simple, it's not simple, but I've got more odds to pass the challenge. And once I understand that, I can just adapt all my trading strategies to the rules of the prop firms, because most of the times we can adapt our strategy to it. So maybe if I'm using a risk reward of 1-to-1 in my live account, I can say, why can't I just try and risk a 3-to-1 and see what happens, see what win rate I get. And if I get a good win rate, then I can go ahead and test it in Forex Test Online. So thing is, once we've actually sworn the prop challenges that we are gonna buy, and we've designed the strategy for this, now we need to adjust the risk and frequency to match the hidden rules. Like I say, on some challenges we can't risk more than X amount. Some ask for have X amount of profit days. There's loads of hidden rules that we need to select, and that's why we shouldn't be approaching a lot of prop firms, because at the end of the day, if we approach too many, there's going to be a lot of rules that we are going to miss. And if we miss the rules, we're fucked, because at the end of the day, we're going to break some and we're just going to lose our money. So the most important is not to break any rule, so every challenge is valid and the metrics match. So once we've adjusted that, we need to simulate the challenges. I always tend to simulate from 50 to 100 times, or at least 1 year. Okay, so in this case, this strategy that I used here, it could pass challenges in 1-2 days, or it can take 1-2 weeks. Okay, depending on how the market is moving. Sometimes I can win 3, lose 1, win 3, lose 1, and on like that. So obviously it stays more ranged. But if I pass them, or if I'm going to do a coin flip, 50% chance, I can do 100 challenges in nothing. Okay, in 2 weekends I've got it done. So it depends on the strategy and how that strategy works. We can do more or less. In this case, for this strategy, 1 year for me is enough. Okay, I know it works, because obviously I've already used this strategy in a live account. But if not, we would have to search to do at least 100 challenges just by doing this. Just prop challenge, custom challenge, boom, put the details in and start a challenge when we failed it. And when we've got 100 challenge, we need to look at our passing rate, and with that passing rate, if we've got the same criteria to get a payout, then we can more or less get the maths. And if the criteria for the payout is similar to the funding rate, to actually get funded, then we can just do what I did here, that is just here, 40%, 40%, at the end gives me 16 to 80% of payouts. Okay, so I'll get from 100 challenges, I'll get 16 to 18 payouts. This is the gross. But, and here's a big but, if we've got, let's say, lucid trading, we come to lucid trading, we can do a coin flip, 50% win rate, perfect. Then we need another strategy to pass the challenge. Then not to pass the challenge, to get a payout. Because one, we can do it with a coin flip, but then the prop firm asks me to get 5 trading days that are in profit. And the chances of me getting 5 trading days in profit with a minimum amount with the strategy that I used to pass it out from a coin flip, the odds drop really high. So now I need 2 strategies. So this is the thing, that we need to design our strategy to the rules. So here, to do this, we could aim for basically this strategy, a negative risk reward, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1, whatever you can risk. If I can risk let's say the entire drawdown, so $1,000, and I only want to aim for $100 because that's the minimum that he has, that would be probably a risk reward of 10 to 1. So obviously that will give me a 98% win rate or 95% win rate. So obviously there's a high chance of me getting 5 streaks in a row. Meanwhile, if I do it with the normal 50-50, that's not going to work. And I'm going to lose a lot of payouts just because of this. So the thing is, we need to design, just like I've mentioned before. And one thing that I wanted to ask, we need to validate the statistics, as we need at least a 40% funding rate, not to make money, but to actually make it worth it. Okay, because like I say, with an 70%, we can make $5,000. With 14%, we would make just a bit less, and it's just that barrier of should I do it or not. And below that will basically be in break even, and that's not worth it. So at the end of the day, this is pure mathematic, but we have human errors and we can do things wrong. We can miss a trade, we can not trade one day and break the statistic. So at the end of the day, if I get a funding rate or payout rate of a 16 to 18, we can expect a 14% of real payout. So that's more or less the gross operandi, as I would call it, to actually make money with the prop firms. And obviously we need the correct tool that is Forex Online, because it's got the prop challenge simulation, and it will help and basically help and give us the data that we need to validate that what we're doing, we can expect return in the future. So important, is there any questions? Because it's been 14 minutes, I haven't stopped speaking, I've dumped a lot of information, and I'm sure some of you might have some questions. I wonder, do prop firms have some kind of blacklist of people trying to hack this system this way? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, prop firms in that sense are like casinos. Once you start winning a lot, they ban you. It's simple as that. It's as simple as that. Like, that's why I said at the start that if you treat it like a trading account, my live trading account, I don't do a redraw every month. I just do it every 6 months and just redraw a fair amount of money, because at the end of the day, it's my money and I know it's not going to get denied. But if I've got 100,000 account in prop firm and I request a 20% payout, that's $20,000. It's probably going to get denied. And if it doesn't get denied, they're going to cancel my account after the payout. And that's the thing. The solution is just keep changing prop firms. I mean, with this specific method, you can trade prop firms normally, but like I said at the start of the webinar, the chances of it working are really low unless you risk really high. What percentage risk do you trade per trade do you recommend? I can't recommend you anything because obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but what I do is I always risk the max daily risk. That's what I always do because it's the quickest way. And as well, it depends as well. You must divide it on the odds. Like I say, where's the table here? If I risk a 3%, okay, I'm aiming for 1% with a negative risk reward with a 3 to 1. So the first trade, I've got a 75% of making a 1%. Okay, I've got a 56% of making a 2%, and a 42% of making a 3%. So the thing is, if I don't risk a 3%, and I only risk 1 in the complete stop loss, I'll be getting, instead of a 1% return, I'll get 0.3% return. And in the best chance with streak of 3, I'll be getting 1 to 0.9% back. So at the end of the day, it keeps working because the mathematics are the same, but it's more of the time that it takes you to achieve the profit target or hit the max drawdown. So at the end of the day, if I only risk 1%, I'm going to take much longer to get the actual max drawdown, but as well I'm going to take much longer to actually hit the profit target. So at the end of the day, it depends on how many challenges you want to do, and especially depends on how the challenges developed here. So if you've got 20 challenges, 100 challenges, how long did it take to get them done? And from there you can calculate how much you should risk on every trade, because if it's good for you or for your strategy because you've tested it like that, to risk 1%, risk 1%. If it's for your strategy or for the data that you got in Forex Online that you've done, risking 5% is better than go for 5%. It all depends on how this develops. That's why it's so important to actually have the correct tool to be able to do these back tests and actually have them all set here so you can actually see them. And soonly we are going to launch the code. Okay, the code basically just warm you up a little bit. If we come to Forex Online, okay, we'll be able to see it's down here. The annual plans. This code is only valid for the annual plans. Okay, so we've got the Pro Annual and the Starter Manual. The code works for both. So obviously, I would get the Pro because it's got some more features in it. And the other thing we do is just basically go in to buy it, and when we get to the checkout, we'll get a section that is basically to enter the coupon code, and there we can apply the coupon code that I'll put in the chat in just a little bit. And as well, if you miss the actual coupon code, just now we have got a 25% discount plus a 33%, so that is quite a big discount that you're going to get anyway. That is just down in the description. Okay, it's code is just in the description. Thing is as well that we must take into consideration that this is not going to be valid forever. The code that we got in the description is valid only for today and tomorrow, and the free code is only one chance. Okay, so if you've got any more questions, I would love to hear them, or in this case read them, and I'll be happy to reply. Just before we launch this coupon code, remember to go to have the Forex Online page open, because obviously it's going to be really fast and it's going to go really quick. So the best is to have the page actually open, and once I drop it in the chat, you'll be able to quickly copy it and paste it in there and get your Forex Online subscription, because obviously it's a complete year of Forex Online, completely free, and everything that I've explained in this video, you could start applying it from today. And as well, like I said, in the description you got the 33% plus a 25% on the webpage. They match together, so that's a 58% discount. That is massive, and for the value that we get out of Forex Online, it's completely worth it. Also, do you recommend sticking to one strategy or adapting based on market conditions? Me personally, what I do is I have one single strategy and I adapt it to different markets, okay? But in terms of not market conditions, I adapt it to different assets. So like I normally trade the pound against the dollar and the US 500. They are my main assets, and my strategy is based on there. But I can adapt my strategy to any market in terms of euro against the dollar, pound against the yen, anything like that. I adapt my one to the market, but not to market conditions. I mean, obviously, if the market conditions are bad, there's a lot of news or a lot of things happening around the world, and obviously, I just don't trade. It's simple as that, because it's out of my backtest, it's out of my data, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I know that with my strategy, I'm going to have an 84% win rate, or 60% win rate, depending on the version that I use. But if I'm in middle of a war, or really bad news come out, or I'm in an NFP, then I'm not going to trade, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to know what's going to happen. So yeah, if you're ready, I'm going to drop the code right now in the chat. So the first one that get it gets their free Forex online license. Good luck to everyone. Can I make new indicators in Forex Online? Yeah, sure. In Forex Online, if you go into any project, you can actually upload indicators. Upload indicator, and you just need to upload it here. Okay, most of them it's in Java, so you just need to if you got indicators from TradingView or MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, you just have to convert them in Java, and you can upload them here, and that way you'll be in Forex Online. And I would be really happy if the winner actually drops a message in the chat saying that he's actually got the Forex and more account. And as well, another thing that you can actually do in Forex Online is if we come to analytics, we can set our exit optimizer. And let's say if I got a 50% win rate strategy, I can convert it into a negative or positive risk reward strategy just by doing this, and it actually tells me the average profit that I'm going to get. So this is really interesting as well when we're building the strategy. I just started watching the channel. You present some interesting strategies here. Please do the webinar on how to optimize strategies, not just the exits. Sure, okay. I'll set that webinar, and possibly something that's not dealing with round numbers. Okay, sure. What trading styles you like? I mean, I personally trade with round numbers, and for me, it's the best way of analyzing the market. But obviously, it's me. Oh, thanks. I already have taken the lifetime account. Nice platform, sir. Hey, thank you so much for joining the team. But yeah, the lifetime is a really good, really intelligent purchase. At the end of the day, we're always bringing new features out, and you're always going to have them completely updated without having to update anything yourself. It's always going to be updated on the platform. But yeah, Maya, the next webinar we can I can pick a different strategy, and we can optimize it together, so you can see how I optimize strategies. At the end of the day, I've been optimizing strategies for the last 7 years, so it's something that I do every day, even not on camera. I do it because I like it, I enjoy it. But yeah, Maya, one of the most interesting things is both the analytics insight to actually optimize the analytics insight and the exit optimizer. I mean, this is one of the most powerful tools that you can find in any backtest platform. It works phenomenal, and it works great for it was good to hear you live, Jack. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I mean, honestly, I'm always going to thank Forex Online to give me the opportunity to be here with all you. At the end of the day, I love to show people what I achieved in terms of what I've learned, and be able to share it completely free with all you is a gift for me. It's a gift for me because I know that it might help a lot of people in terms of especially the prop firm, people that have been struggling with prop firms. They're going to have a way to actually bypass and get some payouts. And if we do the actual optimizing strategy system, I'm sure will help a lot of people as well. And at the end of the day, the good thing on Forex Online is got loads of tools to actually optimize everything. But yeah, has somebody taken that code? I would love to hear if somebody's used the code and got a free copy of an annual subscription of Forex Online. Hey Lento, cheers, got the code, looking forward to it. Thanks, mate. Shoot, code has already been taken. Yeah, I mean, that's basically because Lento has taken the subscription. I mean, it was going to go fast because at the end of the day, it's a complete year of Forex Online. I mean, we're talking about a big save there. But in any case, big save. In the description, there's a 33% discount applied to the 25% that's already on the webpage. So that's 58% discount. It's more than half. And the good thing is that the one in the description, we can apply for the lifetime. So it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Because at the end of the day, having access just to analytics insight and exit optimizer, just having access to this is worth it. Because the exit optimizer calculates the best stop loss, take profit, and the max holding duration for your strategy. And I mean, that is massive. I mean, before, the way I used to do this, I used to program my strategies and run them through MT5 and run them through the optimizer and have to select manually which is better. And this does it all completely automatically while you're backtesting. So it's completely worth it. Completely worth it. Plus all the additions that we can find of the journaling. We can journal every single trade down here. We can take a screenshot of all the trades. We can add tags, pullback, breakout, and then we can analyze our strategy. As I said, we've got different setups. We can just come to tags analytics, and it will tell us the best win rate. It will tell us the win rate and the profit factor of each tag. Let's say if I've got different type of setups, I've got an A setup, a B setup, a C setup. it'll tell me if actually that A setup is really an A setup. Optimizer looks a really controversial tool, very powerful as you say, but needs more flexibility in my opinion. And I'd love to be able to optimize TP but leave stop loss. You can. Ah, you mean, okay, yeah, I know what you mean. That's actually a good idea. I'll tell the devs about that. That's actually a good idea. To actually just do maybe a check on what you want to optimize. 100%. Thanks for that. That's a good idea. Because yeah, we could just leave the stop loss, like I say, if we're using in this case it's in points. If I'm using a 5,000 or 10,000, if it doesn't actually match here, I mean, sometimes you can actually find your stop loss in this range up here. So I say maybe my stop loss is 15. If I scroll this up, I get up to 16 or 14. So more or less it stays. You can find it, but it's not always going to be exactly the same. So in that case, that's a good idea, 100%. What helped you overcome inconsistency in your trading journey? Is it just backtesting? Well, backresting 100%. Yeah, I mean, leaving it the way it is, original below the swings. Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna after the webinar, I'm gonna drop a message to the devs because that is an excellent idea, 100%. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, what overcame my inconsistency years back was, first of all, not trying to do it perfect. Because I was a person that I wanted the Holy Grail in terms of trading, the Holy Grail trading strategy. And I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to win the 90% of the trades, have a risk reward of 1-to-1. And at the end of the day, when I understood that I was never going to actually make it perfect, but it was going to be okay enough, that's when I'm more relaxed. And instead of trying to get this perfect setup, I just took the setups as they came and just traded. Obviously, with a big background in terms of backtesting, I was years and years backtesting before I actually started making money, and I backtested my strategies a lot. And what really broke because every trader's got like a cycle. Some earn a bit money when they start and then they lose it all. That's normal. But most traders start losing money because they don't know what they're doing. Then they start learning, and then they start going into a break-even zone where you don't make money, but you don't lose too much in it either, so you more or less stay there. And then it's where it comes that you actually break through that even, and you start making money. But this is all based on experience. So obviously, this experience can't come if you haven't got a trading strategy. So backtesting at the end is the floor that you can sit on, that you can stand on. It's a complete floor, and from there you can build. Because obviously, what I do is I have a mechanical strategy, but I sometimes trade without following 100% the rules, depending on how I see the market. I don't trade when I should trade, or I might not aim for a risk reward of 1-to-1. I go to 1-to-2 because maybe I see I've got more volatility, and I more or less play around with that, and that's what's helped me get the consistency. Because I mean, like I say, this is on live market. Okay, this is my live trading. When it comes to prop firms, it's a different asset. We need to treat it a different way. Okay, because at the end of the day, prop firms are I said it somewhere over here. Investments. Where is it? They are probability-based investments. That's what I wanted to say. The live trading account is different. You need an edge to win. I mean, you need an edge sometimes because you can come to. I mean, just take this out because I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people show you them their equity curve, their track record, and look how this went up. And I mean, 50% win rate, risk reward of 1-to-1. We shouldn't make any money, but if we calculate it, who's this? Who's this? That's what I mean. I mean, this one made over a 300%. Okay, 200% in return. and this is a losing strategy. So at the end of the day, any guru, any person out there, because there's millions of us trading, so some of them are going to have these type of results, even if they haven't got a bad strategy. The thing is that then they come, they sell you a course on how to trade, but at the end of the day, the strategy is bad. And a lot of times, just having this, okay, just 50% win rate and risk reward 1-to-1, if we don't trade following 100% rules and we have our way of trading in terms of if we don't see the markets, like we don't like how the chart is looking, we don't trade, or we bring down the risk reward, or we take it up because there's a lot of volatility, like discretional trading basically. If we add a discretional trading to a base strategy that has got this risk reward and this win rate, we can make money. That is 100%. That works. So what I do is I basically have my mechanical strategy, but I trade it sometimes discretionally. Okay, some days I don't trade, some days I look at a chart and I say I don't like this, I'm not going to trade on this chart, or I'm going to reduce risk, or I'm going to risk more because the charts are moving exactly like I like to see how they're moving. So that's the thing. That's the thing. But yeah, guys, if we don't have any more questions or anything like that, I am gonna drop out because I've explained everything that I can explain about prop firms really. So the main doubt is brilliant. To tell the truth, I've been struggling with a challenge for a long while and no success, but I was trying to be honest and trade it as I was a trading life. That's the thing. I mean, it's happened to me as well. I mean, don't think that I was born with this under my arm. This is based on what I've learned and traded a lot of accounts. Just like you, I've been stuck trading a live account for 5 months. Not a live, a challenge, 5 months. And thinking, how the fuck do the people pass them in a couple of weeks? And the thing is that they do pass them in a couple of weeks, but they actually don't show the reality that they've lost 8 challenges before they've actually passed 2. It actually feels like live trading once you actually pay. Yeah, obviously, because you've invested money. I mean, depending on the size of the challenge, it feels more or less. I mean, if I buy a 5,000 account that costs me $30, that's not going to feel like a live account. But if I buy 200,000 that costs me $1,000, then that's obviously that you're going to feel more pressure. That's why you shouldn't buy challenges where you actually feel that pressure, because it will go against you. I mean, I tend to buy challenges. If I go to Lucid Trading, I'll buy these challenges here, the Lucid Flex. 25,000 for $70 or 50. This one is better actually in terms of ROI. 50,000 is better. $91. I don't feel like trading a trading account if I only invested $91, because this is like 85 euros or something like that. It's not a lot of money. But if I go to a big account, I mean, in this case, Lucid doesn't have too big, and I wouldn't trade these anyway. I prefer these for farming. But if I go to the FTMO and go to which is the biggest, 200, 999 euros. I am going to feel like I'm trading a trading account in terms of, because it's not actually my money in there. I mean, if I would have to invest 1,000 euros in a live account, I wouldn't mind me. You know what I mean? I've invested more than 1,000 euros in a live account, so it's okay. It's my money. It's there. I can withdraw it whenever I want to. It's not like I've bought an account, and if I don't pass the account, I've lost some money. That's the real pressure. But if I know that if I'm aiming to pass 10 prop challenges in a year, it means I've got to invest 10,000 euros, and 10,000 euros if I pass all of them. If not, it'd be 100,000 euros. So I always buy the challenges in terms of that I don't feel the pressure. If I don't feel the pressure, it's like a demo account, and I can follow my rules like I should. If not, the pressure just puts you back. But yeah, like I said, I really appreciate you all being here. It's been a big pleasure for me to actually show this off so everybody can actually see it, and I hope I've helped somebody out there to get their first payout. So at the end of the day, I think that most of you deserve it. Everybody deserves getting at least one payout, even if they don't trade or they don't continue trading because they don't like it. But if you've started, at least you deserve at least one payout, and this obviously can help you get your first payout on the prop firms. Definitely, because at the end of the day, it's mathematical. You need to be better than not to be better. You need to not be worse than a coin flip. So that's relatively okay. Obviously, like I said, there's rules behind, and these rules change the odds, and that's why we need Forex Test Online, because at the end of the day, we can test the challenges with the rules as they are, and just be aware, and just be able to get the exact passing rate as well. If you got a 20% passing rate, the real passing rate will be 16, 17. It's always going to be lower because at the end of the day we fuck up a lot, and that's just a reality. So we just got to keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Hamis. Like I said, it's been a big pleasure for me as well to be here. At the end of the day, big thank out to Forex Test Online, because at the end of the day, without them, I wouldn't be here doing this webinar. Krisha, my personal strategy, I don't share it for the reasons that if I share out my strategy with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, and then I use it on a prop firm, I'm probably going to get blocked for copy trading for using my own strategy. That's why I don't share my exact strategy, because at the end of the day, first, we all get blocked for copy trading, because at the end of the day, it's a mechanical strategy that it works, so we all get blocked for that. And second, I'm the believer in terms of we shouldn't rely on a strategy that we're seeing. We should build our own strategy, because that's how we build confidence on it. So we can pick a strategy as a base. We can build the strategy on a base of another strategy. I can explain a strategy about round numbers and say, okay, this and this and this and this, and you can pick that base and you can backtest it and add your rules, add your things, and how you feel comfortable. Because at the end of the day, I can't trade a swing trading strategy. I get nervous if I leave a trade open 2, 3, 4 days. I don't like it. I like to scalp. I like to do intradays, 1 trade a day, 2 trades a day, or do a few during the day, depending on the strategy that I'm using. But I can't do swing trading. I couldn't pick up a swing trading strategy and use it. It can be the most mechanical strategy out there, that I only need to press A or press B. But I'm going to fuck up with that strategy because I'm not good at swing trading. And that's a reality. And the same can happen. The person that I can share a scalping strategy that's completely mechanical, you only need to press A or B. And that person that doesn't like scalping, he doesn't know he doesn't like scalping, but he doesn't like scalping, is going to fuck up with that strategy. And that's a reality. So everybody should have their own strategy based on whatever trading system you like. But you need to have your own, because that's how you build confidence on it. Because, I mean, all the traders that I know that are profitable, right, in prop firms or live markets, they all have built their own strategy. There's not one that has said, hey, I've picked this strategy and done it exactly the same. Not one. And I know a few. But everybody's built their own strategy. Some from scratch, some have picked a base, some have picked ICT based strategies, others have picked normal price action, some use indicators, but they all add their final touch on it. Their own rules, their own set of rules, their own risk rewards. It's all different for every person, because at the end of the day, trading is the most personal job out there, because it all depends on how you are as a person. I'm really impatient. I can't swing trade. I'm impatient, and that's not bad. I'm good at scalping, but if I wouldn't accept that, and I would say, if I'm not good at swing trading, I'm not good at trading, then I'll be screwed at the end of the day. Everybody needs to find their path. That's why personally I don't share it, because a lot of people who are good at scalping are going to pick up a strategy and I'm going to get banned for using my own strategy. And second is, a lot of people can get confused or frustrated because they pick up a strategy, they don't win money with it, and they sort of think, why is he making money? He's doing it, I can do it live in front of you. And even doing it like that, you're probably not going to make money. You can copy my trades and you're not going to make money. You can go to a signal group where with the best trader in the world, that you might not make money because you don't believe in it. You don't have the confidence in that strategy. You haven't backtested your strategy for years. You haven't traded it for years. You're not going to hold a trade when things don't look good. It's as simple as that. That's why you need to have your own strategy and your own set of rules, your own risk reward, because only you know the best way to do it. Only you know the best way. Only you know how you are, and that's the main thing. But yeah, I think now 100% I'm going to drop off. Thank you everyone for joining. It's been a really big pleasure to be here. Really enjoyed chatting with you guys. And like I said, I hope you've helped somebody to reach their first payout. And don't forget, in the description, it's going to be valid until tomorrow. Okay, 33% discount. Plus a 25% discount that's already in the web, so it'll be, like I said, 58% discount that you got in total when you can use this for a lifetime. So if you want to get a lifetime subscription, this is the moment, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get it cheaper than this. Thanks a lot. See ya. Same ways, Maya. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a really pleasure. Krishna, thank you, sir. Thank you for joining. It's been, like I said, it's my pleasure to be here to help everybody out in what I can, and I hope all of you success in the next 10 challenges you take. Remember, always, and small tip, I don't buy a challenge if I can't buy at least 20 challenges of it. So that's why I don't buy a 200,000 challenge, because I'm not going to invest 20,000 in one go. So that's a quick tip. If you can't buy at least 20, then it's not worth buying that challenge, because you can have too much pressure. So said that tip. I hope you're all good. My name is Jack, whoever didn't know me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.